So we're in Fresno, California. We just finished installing a Badger 1/3 horsepower garbage disposal. This is straight out of Ferguson. These disposals that we purchased come with the electrical cord attached already. You can certainly get these anywhere, Home Depot, Lowe's, and then you buy a cord separately. But we like it already done. That way we know it's wired correctly. We know how to wire things, but we just like that convenience. It's only 5 minutes to set a cord, and then another $12 for a cord. But anyways, so we did replace the mounting bracket. So up in here, you can see that's brand new. They are interchangeable. The old style, not the old style, but the old brackets, as long as they're compatible with in-sync aerators, then you can reuse those. But we got to looking at this one, and sorry about there not being much light, but you can see, it's still functioning, but it was corroded from sitting in water, and as opposed to just, taking the shortcut, we put a new one in. And that's always best because you're responsible for the entire installation. If you could just drop the disposal out of there and leave the other one in place, and as long as it doesn't leak, you win. If it starts leaking, then you come back and you charge them money to replace it, which, from my point of view, isn't fair to the homeowner. So, brand new mounting bracket, brand new putty, brand new disposal. We did reuse all of their waste kit. It's existing to the home whenever it was built, or whoever worked on it last, don't know. The only thing that we did do is this trap adapter right here was not glued onto the pipe. So we just took some glue and glued it on. I don't know why it wasn't glued, but stuff like it happens, no big deal. So, and then if we put a brand new nut on there as well. The old one, it would have worked fine, but it was just old, and when those things split, then you start dripping, water's dripping out of there, and then you got a service call, and we like to avoid coming back, and we kind of feel responsible for things like this, even though this is not our piping. So that's the existing arm as well coming off of there with the bracket. The reason being, this is all glued together. There's not any adjustment. The tubing that we use it's tubular pipe, so it's similar. It's that, just like the arm is over there. It's tubular. This is Schedule 40. Once you glue it on, you're stuck with those dimensions. You have to reuse things. So that 90-degree arm that comes out of the disposal comes out of the disposal pretty far before it turns and comes into this arm. The new one that they send out with these disposal kits is very short, so it would not line up. In other words, it would not reach the disposal to tie in. So that is existing, was not damaged, everything is good. So the gasket in there is specific, is existing. The mounting bracket is existing. 2 new bolts in there, those are new, they came to the disposal, but we've run lots of water down this side, lots of water down this side, and there are no leaks. So there's no leaks up at the flange, and no leaks coming out of the bottom here, no leaks coming out of that, sorry, get the flashlight there in the picture, no leaks coming out of the discharge drain right there, and then no leaks here at the nut, and then the only other nut you've got down here is existing nut for the trap. And then of course we didn't touch that white nut. We did tighten it down a little bit because it was a little loose, but the brass nut, that's what we took off, so we tightened that back down. So everything's good. It's draining now. If you have any issues with this, for some reason there is no clean out in the cabinet, I would imagine it's out back. They did come and put a shelf out there when they did my guess is when they did these granite countertops here, they put one outside on the window and they built an enclosure, and I believe it's covered up. And the reason why I say that, it was a home was built in the 80s or 90s, can't remember, but I've been in plumbing since 87. Code has always been you need to clean out at a kitchen sink, period. So it's probably pointing out and got buried. Only thing you do is open up that cavity, or open up that I'll show you what it is. Open up this, we'll call it this, so you can see they built, put a little shelf out there and nice enclosure. So I believe it was on the original exterior wall, but now it's buried in there. So you'd have to open it up and get to it, or come in here and open up the back of the cabinet, which is a little more extensive. Well, both ways are extensive, but open up the back of the cabinet, get over there to the plumbing, cut everything out, put a clean out, face it in, put a new T on, repipe everything, and so that's quite a project. We don't want to get into that. So anyways, everything's working correctly. Outside of that, this installation is done.